You're listening to The Metal Lens. Life, the universe, and everything from a metal point of view.
All right,
how we doing?
and we're back.
And we're back.
We're previously re-recorded, or just recorded.
Yes.
Re-recorded would be stupid.
Yeah. Unless we fuck up.
Well,
then
it would be redundant.
I like it. All right. Well, hey friends and enemies. Welcome to August.
Which is officially the fucking dog days of summer. I
Christ
asked
almighty.
for some clarification, and I thought it was kind of interesting because I heard an explanation to where the dog days of summer, it's when the dog always wants to sleep with you in the bed, and I'm like, that's fucking stupid. And then I realized our dog started sleeping in the bed with us a lot.
Really?
Then, like, I thought, like, maybe there was some merit to this, and then I'm like, okay, Google.
If that is your real name.
What is the meaning of dog days of summer? And it has something to do with the fucking dog star or something. It's got nothing to do with anything.
Got nothing to do with that. Some jackass was pulling your legs.
Some bullshit, yeah.
Fuck. All right. Well, the
Something
truth.
to do with some star and... Yeah,
Okay. Well, the truth continues to evade us.
Yeah.
What else is new, I guess?
Yeah, you ain't lying about that.
Yeah. So, you know.
The heat index has probably been I guess averaging about 104, 105.
Oh my god, dude!
It's just fucking miserably hot.
Just taxing your fucking couple $100 power, energy bills and.
It's been hot.
AC.
Don't get me wrong, but once we get into August, it's oppressive. It's really oppressive. Which it's not going to last too much longer, which is good.
Yeah.
But it's just this last little bit of summer for us. This whole month of August is just oppressive heat.
You know what I like about August, I guess, in terms of the summer, is that it doesn't. No, don't get me wrong. It doesn't feel like it's on its way out because it's still hot as fuck. Like I saw the sun going out. It's like, oh, let's go out on the back deck, and it felt like a fucking sauna.
Yeah.
Even though the sun was, mostly down, but it doesn't feel like it's on its way out. But it kind of, it's on its way out. That it's gonna happen.
It's not gonna last much longer.
No, come September, it'll be in high 80s rather than low 90s, and in the it gets a little drier. But we're used to this.
Yeah. Stay hydrated, my friend.
Yes, please. So, on we go in this world of COVID.
Yeah.
Nothing's changed in that regard. Well, I mean, I guess they're going to open schools up. What's your kids doing, man? They're opening up.
Yeah, they're going to school. My kids don't do very well if they're not in the class, apparently. I'm the oldest one, okay, but the youngest one, nah. It's like, I'm not at school, so I'm not doing shit. So his fucking ass needs to go to school. He needs to be in class. They had, pardon me.
Pardon him.
I get it. I mean, it's kind of a new thing. It's not, but it kind of is. And they going back and forth. It's like, well... You could do some online classes, or you can go all in class, or all online classes, or whatever.
Right.
But then, because my original plan was to say, okay, we're going to hold you out the first 2 weeks because we don't want to be the guinea pigs, and see what happens. And if it seems to be okay, then yes, going to school. Well, that's not really one of the options. It's either you go or you stay out. So he's going. They're going. And I think it's going to be fine.
Yeah, big decision to have to make, though.
It is.
Yeah.
I'm more worried for the teachers. And I think the teachers should be more concerned. I mean, I don't know if kids are immune to it or not, but they certainly don't get it as much as. Let me just read you something. I'm gonna read you something.
Yeah, go.
Now,
for
like
it.
I said, a lot of the shit you take your information, you decide. This is apparently from the CDC
All right.
that someone sent me.
All right.
Don't know. I mean, I could have easily made this and sent it to people. So I don't know. But this is the United States. Total tested 47,300,000 whatever. Total negative test 42 million. So the rate of negative tests out of the total 47 is about 90.7%, 90%, almost 91%.
Yeah.
The total positive test is only 4,370,000, which would give that rate of about slightly over 9% out of total tested. So the total deaths are like 140,000. Death rate's 3.2%. Out of the total tests, it's only a 0.3%. Which gives the population of the U.S. is 331 million, which I think is close to 350, or maybe a little bit over that, but close enough. Mortality rate is a 0.04. So, which would give you a grand total of your chance from not dying from COVID-19 is 99.96%. So, you're all the bones.
Okay. Well, I mean, you know,
If I was at the roulette table and my odds of hitting 7 was 99.96%, I would bet the fucking house on it.
fair enough. Well,
I wouldn't even think about it. I would just bet the fucking house on it.
the kids, I mean, they got that lower risk because of the whole, what do you want to call it? Underlying conditions thing.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, I mean, and it's pretty similar to the flu. I mean, the flu's not so bad, but if you got fucking asthma, then it's pretty bad.
right. Or if you have COVID,
Yeah.
the flu would suck.
Yeah, the flu really sucks.
Yeah. But you know, we're living in a time where like it's becoming more acutely obvious that we are so beholden to, influenced by beer. There you go. Thank you for reminding me that anything
Sorry,
that I
that was
have
a
to
little-
say doesn't have any fucking point compared to beer.
Sorry, that was a little foamy.
A little bubble. You know
Yeah.
what? You know. You know that. You know how like wine snobs and like even like whiskey snobs, aficionados, if you will,
Yes.
sommelier de la cour. They have those like little, oh, it's got this nose, it's very it's oaky, vanilla, whatever, all kinds of fruity, very floral. I wonder, I don't get the same I don't know, finesse from people in fact, I don't really see anybody doing the same thing with beer at all. Now that I'm thinking about it.
I think they do.
Do they?
Of course, it's the craft. The craft things.
No one's going to do that with
if
like
you're drinking,
natty ice or whatever.
Sunnyside Berry Mountain Pilsner, then
Well, if you're drinking a Sunnyside Berry Pilsner or whatever, then you probably got yourself your own YouTube channel, and well, I'm not one to judge. We've got our own, but hey, there's
and
beer
you probably wear one of those
and dead bodies on ours. So.
one of those bebop hats with the mustaches that do this.
Oh yeah.
With like a sweater vest. It's like, huh?
It's that's called culture, Troy.
It's fucking called hipster bullshit is what that's called.
You said it, not me.
So yeah, the 99.96 chance.
Oh.
And I mean,
I was just saying, if you were a beer aficionado, you'd probably have to include the foaminess of the reuptake in your rating system.
yeah.
That's all I'm saying. So yeah, whatever. We're all gonna live or die. I don't know. Who knows? Depends on what the news tells us, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's it keeps going back for me that this is really politically driven.
Oh, everything is nowadays.
And it's getting really nasty and really ugly. And I know we haven't really gone into politics that much, and we still won't. I'll still stay true to that. But it just, I'm not going to say which side I'm on, and I'm not going to say bad about one side or the other side, or the other side, or however many sides there are. But you know, it's pretty fucking shitty because you know it's like if your parents get divorced, you got your red parent and your blue parent. Okay, and we're the fucking kid in the middle, you know? It's not a good situation.
I don't like being that middle kid.
Which kind of brings me to something. I was going to get into it later, but I guess I'll just get into it now.
Go for it. Segue.
I have been known to peruse the YouTube.
YouTube, huh?
Yeah. No, I love YouTube. I don't give a fuck what anybody says.
YouTube, you say?
Yeah.
Okay. Tell me about this YouTube. Enlighten me.
Yeah, so I've been getting into a lot of these congressional hearings.
Uh-oh.
From both sides.
Congressional, okay.
The Republicans do it and the Democrats do it.
So they post it up on YouTube then? And okay.
Like little snippets. Some of them in great detail.
Uh-huh.
And, you know, there's been some that are really biased and shitty. And other ones that are pretty favoritism-ish to a certain way. But I understand the process because they're all pretty snippy and shitty when they're asking these questions, when they're on the committee, as they call it. So I got to do some research. I mean, I know it's a hearing, so I assume it's certainly not a trial.
Right.
Even though they have objections and things they can do and rules and things they can and can't do.
Right.
But like when a congressperson is questioning, they control the time. If they're given 5 minutes, typically it's 5 minutes. They control the time. So it leaves the door open for complete and utter badgering of a witness or whoever. And they can just badger and pitter fuck them people to death. And but on the other hand, it's kind of strange, and I guess it's a microcosm of the fucking country in a whole. Because, like, if you got 5 minutes, that's all you got. So if you ask a question and the witness just goes on to this elaborate fucking answer, then you lost your fucking time. So it's like that. It's like, okay, where were you October 31st, 1992? Well, I was at the gay bar on Bourbon Street, and so, okay, that's it. Well, if I was, I could have been over. I control the time, and they keep,
Right.
because a witness can filibuster whoever's talking to him by elaborating, except for Al Sharpton apparently, because he can blab however much they want. But that's regardless of the point. But the main thing that I was goddamn wondering was, what happens to this shit? The congressional hearings. Because there's a lot of really good things that are coming out of these congressional hearings that are like questions that I weren't fucking answered. I'm like, yeah, fucking right. Yeah, what about that?
Yeah.
Okay. Answer that one, motherfucker. And they don't, and they him and her, and they got them dead to fucking rights, and okay. Then what? Nothing. So that's what I guess I gotta get at, because it's like a hearing.
Yeah. No one's on trial.
I guess it's like a DA type of thing. It's like, okay, we're going to do this hearing, and we're going to answer a bunch of ridiculous questions in an absurd setting. And if we feel like we need to take you to trial, then we can take you to trial after that.
Yeah. You're making statements. People have the right to question you. Yeah. This is pre-trial. You're not being judged. Nothing's but it's being documented. Like your answers are being documented. Yeah. So this is for like, legal proceedings kind of thing, you know?
Well, I would like to see some follow up on these hearings. I mean, there's a lot of hearings out there, and a lot of really good ones on big pharmacy. That I would love to have an end result on that.
Well, I mean, that's a
I mean, you might know this.
that's a mighty topic,
You
man.
might know
I'm
this, but
pretty
you might not.
biased.
I
on that
had
one.
no idea that this is how it worked. And if y'all didn't know this is how it worked, and after I tell you this, you're going to be pretty upset. You're going to be very mad. Okay, so apparently the way it works is like big pharmaceutical companies like Pfizer and Johnson & Johnson and all these different ones. There's a bunch of them. MERS or whatever. And what they do is they get funding through something called NIH, which is a government-funded thing for research and development of treatments and drugs, which, as we know, government money is basically our money. It's taxpayer dollars.
From the people.
So what it is they get the research. I don't know. I'm being a little facetious here, but like restless leg syndrome. Okay, so here's $20 million. And they're gonna research and develop a drug to treat restless leg syndrome.
Yeah.
Okay, and they go back in their little labs and they work on. They do the trials and they do all that shit with that $20 million. And which I think a portion of it they do research and develop themselves, but whatever the percentage is, I don't know. But the point is, there is a chunk of the research and development that is from taxpayer dollars through this NIH thing, which I guess I need to look more into. It's a fund. So what they do is they develop the drug, and we got it. Okay, we found it.
Yeah.
So once they do the trials and everything, and the drug goes to market, well, before they put it to market, they patent the drug.
Okay.
But we don't get our names on the patent. They patent it privately.
So it gets, so it's privatized.
Yeah, so it immediately gets privatized. So we don't get any return on our original research and development R&D investment.
Well, no, we get it. We get to have somebody sell it back to us
At a hellacious profit.
Dude, the markup for pharmaceuticals
Fuck
is,
me!
I mean, I'm not an economist or anything.
Sounds pretty fucked up. We don't get a penny of that R&D, that early R&D back. None of it. We funded the development of the drug that we pay out the ass for.
Yeah.
It's fucked up, and that's really how it works. And I really didn't know that end of it.
Yeah.
And that I will say is one partisan topic. Democrats and Republicans are both hammering big pharmacy over this. And that's one topic they seem to agree on, that whatever big pharmacy is doing in this country is wrong.
Well, I'm surprised, dude. I mean, I think that the one side or the other, or significant representatives of both, really, have been properly bought out, decades ago by the pharmaceutical companies. And that doesn't mean that there's going to be people who are going to clash against it, because they're probably running into conflict with some other interest that they were bought out by or something. I don't know, dude. It's all a bunch of fucking
for me,
games.
it was just refreshing to see
that being
actually true partisan, bipartisan.
just see people come together and just like fucking they're getting older now and they need their drugs, and they're realizing how fucked up healthcare system is.
For them anyway, the motherfuckers.
Well, I mean, I'd love to be a congressman and get their benefits.
Bacon wrapped shrimp, baby.
Dude, yeah, it's a big healthcare in this country is a big fucking racket, dude. It's just a big pain in the ass.
Let's all move to Canada and smoke lots of pot.
That's where it's coming from. Canada.
Said your boy from Clutch.
Didn't they put something out like maybe a year ago?
Was it Psychic Warfare?
I hadn't heard it. I think maybe you brought it up fairly recently.
I think it was Psychic Warfare, and it's very good.
Okay. Yeah, I still ain't heard it yet.
I was very pleased with it.
Okay.
So moving on.
Yeah, can we segue slightly into music in terms of like new shit coming out? You got something else that you want to dive into?
No, let's go jump into that.
Okay. This is I think musically I'm a bit of a skeptic.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I remember a buddy of mine, a buddy of ours. Okay, I'm not gonna name him so as not to embarrass him or anything like publicly. Let's just call him Joe. Let's just call him Joseph.
Okay.
Let's just call him Joseph.
I do not know anyone by that name.
Yeah,
so.
right. So, so I a number of times over the past decade or so, he in particular. I'm not trying to pick on you, Joe, but I mean other people have. He would be like, oh, the new Metallica's coming out, and dude, it's supposed to be like really heavy. I'm like, okay, dude, sure. I heard the same thing about the last album, and it was just as disappointing as the album prior. No, dude, blah, 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 blah. And again, I'm not knocking Joe. I just remember he was one of the people who said this to me. Said, okay, I'll pick it up on YouTube or something, and I'll give it a shot. And lo and behold, disappointment.
I'm sure it's going to come across my YouTube feed somewhere.
Yeah, the cycle of disappointment continues. I mean, it just doesn't, whatever. We've gone past that. I've picked on them enough. That's just an example, all right? Point is, I'm a bit of a musical skeptic when it comes to shit like that, especially bands like from the 90s. We've already very much established that 90s, there was this peak metal, at least for us, generationally, that took place in apparently 1993. According to our top 40 list. And things went on the decline after that, and things came and things went, and, before and after, and, the cycle continues. But despite all that, and despite realizing that I'm a bit of a snob, and like I said, I'm a skeptic about new shit, I am actually genuinely, I haven't been paid off by Capitol Records or anything, interested in what this new Megadeth is going to come out.
But we're open to the idea.
I'm open to the idea of being paid off by anybody at this
point.
Really, honestly. I'll happily unscrew this cap and reveal what I'm drinking if it means I'm getting a little payoff in the no, dude. But the new, this Megadeth album that's been teasing for quite a while, dude. I'm interested. I continue every once in a while to hear like not any music, mind you, but just like descriptions, snippets, little revelations here and there. It's supposed to be heavy. Supposed to be I don't know, technical. By comparison, Dave Mustaine is kind of comparing it. And I know all these kind of statements. You got to take it with a grain of salt. I understand that. I get that. I'm not a fool. Whatever. But the interest is piqued, okay? Because they got a killer drummer who's formerly I think he played with Soilwork, which is are you familiar with the Swedish? I think they're Swedish. And let's see, and who else do they have on guitar? I can't remember who else they got on guitar, but if it's Dave and Dave doing their thing, and man, I've got high hopes that this is going to be not necessarily Rust in Peace. Dave is out there saying like it's going to be like not their next Rust in Peace, but up there with Rust in Peace. I'm like, okay, all right, hold on. But I at least think I'm gonna like it.
That does pique the interest.
It piques the interest. That's let's just stay safe and say that's pretty much where I'm at right now. My interest is piqued. Okay, Piqued. So I'm interested to see what that comes out sounding like. All right, and I don't want to be kind of cranking myself up for a big bunch of disappointment a la Metallica over the years, because I'm
right. But
let's just say, I'm willing to have my interest piqued because I've been disappointed before. It hurts and I get over it. You know what I mean? Now, all that saying, having said all that, there's pretty much nothing out there for us to base this on. So we're pretty much just waiting for this album to come out and cross my fingers. I'm hoping for the best. But if my expectations and the little hints and rumors that are circulating do meet, I think we should be expecting something really fucking interesting to come out of that new album.
Yeah, I was trying to find it. It came up across somewhere. I don't know where.
What's that?
Metal Hammer.
Metal Hammer?
It's a... Oh, what the fuck did they call it? The ezine?
Yeah. NIH is National Institutes of Health, by the way, according to this thing right here.
There you go.
Yeah. Metal Hammer. Let's do some homework. I mean, I know I've heard it before. I've heard of it.
Yeah,
I've
and
seen
what they
shit on it
had
before.
was, it was just kind of interesting. They had something about the best albums, the best metal albums of the 1990, 1991.
Okay, all right.
And of course, not to, we put a lot of work into that list.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, it was fun.
And a lot of our picks made the list.
Interesting. Okay.
Rust in Peace was up there for that year. Vulgar Display of Power was up there for that year.
So I'm seeing 100 best metal albums of the 90s.
Yeah, that's probably it.
Is one thing that's popping up. Okay. I'm seeing, let's see, Alice in Chains, Faith Lift, Death, Spiritual Healing, DSI's Left,
that's it.
Self-Titled, Entomb, Left Hand Path, Jane's Addiction, Ritual de l'Habitual.
Which was a good album.
It was a good album. I mean, I still listen to it. Judas Priest, Painkiller. There we go. Rust in Peace.
Rust in Peace, there it is.
Cowboys from Hell. Lights, Camera, Revolution. Suicidal. I was just listening to this today. Season of the Abyss. Yeah. Force of Equilibrium. Dude, you remember that fucking?
Yes, I do.
Okay,
I
you know
had
what?
that
Let's talk about some Cathedral for a second here.
10-4.
Dude, wow. I wasn't expecting that, but boy, that kind of brought me back.
Yeah.
I was just recently a couple weeks ago, I was looking at on
What was that, 90?
it doesn't give the year, but it had to have been like, I think it was like 1991, something like that. It just came from the turn of the decade. I was looking at a really cool, like it was like a historical, maybe it was an hour long on Napalm Death thing, and it had like the old drummer, Mick Harris, the original grind dude for Napalm, and like a whole bunch of like these old guys like Digby Pearson and who was like he was the guy who started Earache actually.
Okay.
Who else? Some of the guys who were like in the band before Scum, or maybe a couple of the guys who were on the A side of Scum. Anyway, it was really cool, just kind of like seeing that historic thread and see how like it didn't even get into the most recent shit at all, but I mean just kind of like how things changed and evolved. And Lee Dorian was the old singer from Napalm Death, and I didn't know what to expect. I knew he had done this thing, Cathedral, but when I first heard of it or heard it, it wasn't quite what I expected.
No.
You know what I mean? Like, I wasn't expecting quite a Sabbathy kind of, because when it comes to Doom, I mean, I was maybe listening to, at that time, I was probably listening to like Disembowelment and Winter and some of these like really slow, sludgy, but just like heavy, kind of bands.
I love the music. I thought Lee Dorian was a little strange.
He
like a strange choice.
Okay. Oh, you mean but his singing was a little.
Yeah, well, all of it was just really weird.
I mean, it was unexpectedly psychedelic, man.
It kind of was,
yeah.
But looking back on that album, I really liked the music. The riffs were good.
Yeah, they were.
They were fucking. The thing was doomy. You had this feel, and then when you heard Lee Dorian kick in, you're like, "What?"
Yeah, yeah.
So.
I mean, obviously, you could do whatever you want with your voice, and if you got the talent, you can use it. He was doing one thing with Napalm, and he's doing another with Cathedral. But it was. I mean, at the time, Yeah, so it must have been like 90, 91, like early 90s, you know?
Yeah.
That was like bit of a genre bending experience for me, at least. You know, I was like, oh, cool. Oh, wow. All right. I get it. So this guy can do this, and then he can go on to a different act and do that, you know, do something pretty different, which I thought was pretty cool. Yeah, Use Your Illusion, Metallica Black Album, Blessed Are the Sick, Mr. Bungle, Nevermind, No More Tears, Ozzy. All right. I mean, it's not all metal, but I mean, it was significant shit. There's Arise, Sepultura.
Bad Motorfinger was good.
Bad Motorfinger was fucking killer. I'm sure it goes on. Yeah, no doubt, dude. These were like huge fucking, influential. There's Dirt, Alice in Chains, Blazing a Northern Sky.
There you go,
What?
dude. Hell yeah.
Ha! No shit.
Hell yeah.
I'm impressed. All right.
Angel Dust was a great
Faith
album.
No More, yeah. Fear of the Dark.
Fear of the Dark.
Caius.
Yeah.
Huh. I never really listened to a whole lot of Caius.
It wasn't really my cup of tea, but
Yeah. Countdown to Extinction. Yes. Again, that was kind of like, you can't top Rest in Peace, so why try? I'm holding out for Psalm 69. I was just thinking about that album the other day.
that was pretty low on our list, but it was on our list.
Yeah. Vulgar Display of Power.
Display of Power.
All right. Rage Against the Machine. I mean, that was End of Silence. There you go.
Yeah, it did make it.
Yeah.
Check me out, dude. And I thought that was extremely personal and biased.
Dude, no, I don't.
But I think, dude, that Rollins Band, The End of Silence is a great album.
It's not quite my cup of tea, but I listened to it, and it is a solid fucking album.
It's
Dude.
fucking
The record
good,
is
dude.
just amazingly fucking put together, and the musicianship is excellent. No doubt. Sound of White Noise, Heartwork,
Yeah.
Carcass, Siamese Dream, Little Smashing Pumpkins, Under a Funeral Moon, some more Darkthrone. Oh, that's interesting. Here we go. Look at that. Taken as Needed for Pain. I Hate God.
Fucking right.
Local Recognition. Wolverine Blues, Chaos AD,
Yep.
Tool, Undertow, Bloody Kisses, Typo, Pearl Jam. All right. I mean, yeah, cool list. It is nice to kind of go back and kind of reminisce on that shit from time
It's
to time.
Metal Hammer. I'm gonna put those in my feed again. Check
Yeah.
out Metal Hammer. I kind of like where their mind's at.
Right on. Yeah. Well, I could go down the rabbit hole with that shit right there. Yeah. What else you got, man?
Some kind of stupid things that I thought, and it kind of gave me an idea because I want to do perhaps maybe a segment in the show dedicated to these idiot fucking research fucking, I don't know where they come from, but they do these these scientists or whatever do these researches on things.
Okay.
Like fucking what was one death people who listen to death metal are more prone to drink alcohol.
Oh no! It was
A
just
study.
like, well, wait, what's it? Death metal? I think it might have been just like heavy music or rock or hard rock. I don't know.
They do these fucking studies.
Yeah.
And these ridiculous, ignorant ass fuck studies. So here's one, and I don't really need to open it because I remember reading it and I was just completely fascinated how fucking ignorant this was. It was about sperm, and so what it was is the previous conception was if you look at a little tadpole sperm.
Sure.
And it has a little head and a tail.
I think I
Like
read.
this.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Okay, and it was previously once perceived that it wagged its tail back and forth to swim forward. Well, now we know that that's not the case.
It doesn't wag its tail at all, Troy.
It just flicks it in one direction, and the sperm actually rotates. Because it's kind of like that, what is that fucking thing, that song, Fleetwood Mac, like a one-winged dove.
Oh,
like
yeah.
a one-winged dove. Well, to me, a one-winged dove would fly around in circles.
I got you.
So if it did only go in one direction, it would just go in circles. But it actually rotates and spins to get a forward projection.
Oh, I see.
Now we know that shit.
Now we know that shit.
How much money was spent on figuring that fucking shit out?
Well, I don't know. Do they cite their funding?
No,
sources?
they never do.
Could have been the NIH.
But I'm sure it was more than what it was worth for that fucking tidbit of knowledge.
Let me point something out from one scientist to another. I hear what you're saying, dude. I get it. I know there's a lot of junk science out there, and a whole lot of it does seem like a waste of money. But, okay, I will point out that, like, not all research is necessarily, like, get a bunch of subjects, start an experiment, do shit like that. A lot of valid research.
Well, I know more than likely what happened with this is they were researching something else, and they had, like,
well, yeah,
it doesn't move like I thought it would.
It could have been like an incidental observation, and they wrote a paper on it.
That's probably what it was.
Or they do a lot of research that's really valuable to science is like a literature review. Okay, so you basically go back and see a bunch of previous studies that might have, and then you just kind of compile information and like draw some deductions from that, and that's useful and it's scientifically viable. It doesn't cost a lot of money.
This was a waste of some motherfucker's time. What difference does it make?
It was a waste of that sperm's time because it probably didn't get anywhere, did it? And you know what? And that makes me angry, Troy, because you know what? That sperm gave up its life.
Yeah.
In all likelihood.
Yeah, I haven't wasted any.
Hey-oh. All right. Thanks for that.
On other news...
Yeah, please. Change the subject. Quickly.
Sleeping microbes wake up after 100 million years buried under the seafloor.
What?
So, they, like, dug up some fucking dirt or whatever, and they found microbes, and they were, like, dead or whatever. And they, how did they bring them back to life?
They used science? Thunderbolt and lightning?
Oh, they just gave them oxygen and nutrients, and boop, they came back to life.
Oh, shit. Well, that's
so
hangover cure right there.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's kind of interesting because, I mean, hey, 100 million years ago, this is like before the dinosaurs walked the fucking earth. So, it's...
Let's look at the period of epochs in the course of Earth history.
Pretty interesting.
So that shit's been sitting around dormant? Dormant? Or
yeah. Single-cell microbes.
Okay. That's kind of fucking crazy. But, dude, I mean, it's weird, like, when you read about shit. Like, not too long ago, not too many episodes ago, we were talking about, like, the, those little guys, the little tardigrades.
Yeah.
Those little six-legged things.
Like pig-looking fucking things.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they actually send those to Mars or some shit.
No, dude, they apparently they can, like, survive, outer space, for some period of time. But they found those things.
So what was going on 100 million years ago?
100 million years ago. Let's see. Millions of years ago. Ice ages. 100 million years ago appeared to be around the age of the tetrapoda. Tetrapoda? Dude, 100 million years ago was like nothing.
Yeah, it wasn't shit.
Now that I'm looking at this, so we got the...
Yeah, it was before... everything, really. It was before the dinosaurs, before the great
That was
apes,
the Cretaceous period.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, that was... prior to that was the Jurassic period. Prior to that was Triassic. So that was... Yeah, that was the Mesozoic era. Get with it, man. That was the Mesozoic era. Yeah. Everybody knows that. No, dude, that was definitely during the time of the dinosaurs. But still, that was 100 million years ago, dude.
Yeah.
Like imagine a million years if you can, and then imagine 100 of those. Long time ago.
And we woke them up, and now they're alive again.
Dude, fucking science is scary. Dude,
Now,
nature is scary, dude.
If you're gonna spend some
actually.
time and some money and some effort, do it on that. Not how a fucking sperm swims. I mean, fuck. Jesus Christ, get your finger out of your butt.
I don't know.
Fuck.
Maybe I'll have some applications in, like, fertility science or something. I don't know.
They fucking swim forward. Why would we give a fuck why it does it or how it does it?
Well, what if we wanted to make... I know. What if we wanted to make artificial sperm? We'll have to master the art of artificial sperm propulsion in order to get those little biometric, biotronic sperm to create the first human cyborg hybrid. You gotta think big, Troy. Think big. All right, what you got next?
That's about it.
That's about it. Can we sidestep ever so gently into Beirut and Lebanon?
Metallica's
please?
back together.
Oh no, I don't even want to. No, I think
Creeping Death video available.
Creeping Death.
I don't care.
Okay.
Beirut.
Yeah. Yes. Let's leap into that fire. So, like, it was a couple of days ago.
Yeah.
2 or 3 days ago. On this August 7th, year of our Lord 2020. Fucking Beirut just, kind of blew up.
Dude, if you have not looked that up, look it up. That is fucking amazing.
Dude. Yeah, I mean, leave it to two metalheads to say, dude. You're onto something if we say, dude. Dude.
So, apparently it was some kind of like fireworks factory or something.
I don't know what
But
it
they
was.
had some kind of seizure. I forget how it goes. They were storing it there, something off of a ship or something. There was a bunch of fertilizer, ammonium
fertilizer.
nitrate or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
And they had a lot of it stored there, which probably wasn't the best place to put it. But you can see it. It's like in the middle of the city. You can see a little fireworks go off, and then kaboom.
Yeah.
Big boom. Big fucking boom. Shockwaves, mushroom clouds, fucking look like a fucking nuclear warhead
Dude,
went
it
off.
was fucking amazing. Okay, so I love this headline. All right, are you ready for this headline? This is great. Lebanon president: Beirut explosion either due to negligence or missile. So either it was negligence or fucking a bomb.
Either we fucked up or somebody dropped a bomb on us. We don't really know.
I love that. That was like one of the first things that popped up. So I don't know what this dude's going on about.
Where
but
the fuck exactly is Beirut?
It's in Lebanon.
Libya, Lebanon.
Lebanon is
Syria?
Is it North Africa?
Yeah. Yeah, it'd be Syria, Libya.
This is our fucking private school
Lebanon,
education.
Yeah, it's North Africa.
It is
On
this
the coast.
Mediterranean, right?
On the coast there.
Okay, it is
Saudi Arabia.
just on the okay. So you got
Yeah.
Egypt and then Israel and then Lebanon. All right, so
Yeah, so you got that little, you got the continent of Africa, then you got that little side thing of
the
Saudi Arabia.
Strait of Hormuz.
It's like at the north of Saudi Arabia, kind of.
Yeah, right by Syria. Okay, yeah, you called it.
Yeah.
So its neighbors are Jordan, Israel, Syria, Turkey to the north. Well, it doesn't share a border, but yeah, and then Iraq, Egypt. So yeah, it's out there, the cradle of civilization, blown to smithereens. And it was a port city, so it was
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. I bet you the Google map has to update to
Dude, it was fucking.
yeah, look, that shape. Remember that?
Yeah.
Seeing that shape, that overhead temporarily closed. Okay, Google Maps is right now saying that the port of Beirut is temporarily closed.
Yeah.
Probably due to reconstruction efforts. Jesus fucking H. Yeah, dude, I saw the video. Actually, my wife showed Nicole. I'm saying wife for the audience. You know that fucking Nicole. She, there's a restaurant called Swiss Butter. I just got distracted by a place called Swiss Butter, which has 4.3 stars. Steakhouse in Beirut.
Ooh, a steak with Swiss butter.
Yeah. That sounds fucking delicious. But I wouldn't go right now because, it was only a few miles from...
So this is my reaction.
Anyway, no, she showed me this video. I'm sorry, I got distracted. She showed me this video of, like, this woman. She was taking, like, this, these wedding photos or wedding, like a camera. It was doing like not a panoramic, but just kind of like encircling her. She's wearing her dress. She's looking all pretty. And then just, boom. Just her wedding dress just, and then she just goes, and then everybody's running and glasses fucking shattering.
Yeah.
And this is probably like a few dozen miles from ground zero
this is like
of this
high up on
explosion
a
here.
hotel. I guess somebody had a phone because it had been burning, this warehouse or whatever.
It was on
storage
fire
facility.
first, right?
And you could see some of the fireworks kind of popping and sizzling a little bit. And like somebody,
much like a very finely cooked ribeye steak at Swiss Butter.
Yeah.
Here on Girard Street. Anyway, in Beirut.
And so
I just want a steak. I
a
guess.
guy at
It's
work's like,
taking a
hey
long
man,
time.
check this out. This fucking fireworks place blew up in Beirut.
Right.
I'm like, okay, whatever, dude. I'm like, okay, yeah, a little pop sizzle will be okay. Jesus Christ, motherfucker! God damn!
This wasn't a tiny explosion, dude.
That was my reaction to it. So you can kind of get that. It was fucking awesome.
Dude, this thing was massive. I mean, it was like a 3 or 4 kiloton explosion or something. Ridiculous. I mean,
they'll be counting the bodies for a while.
Oh, they're still digging up bodies and rubble and Christ. So, I mean,
this thing leveled fucking buildings.
Leveled building, dude. That leveled the whole fucking port, man.
The whole fucking area.
I mean, imagine if the port of New Orleans, had an explosion that size. We're probably talking about an explosion. The explosion itself, the size of the port itself, and
So where we're at right now, I would probably every window in the house would be busted from just the shockwave of it.
Fuck yeah! I mean, we're not that far. We're just like right here
10 minutes,
by the river.
But about from the port of New Orleans, probably about 15 minutes.
Yeah. It. I mean, less than that if you just go across the river and back.
Oh,
you know what I mean? If you don't go around the curve.
But, less than 10 minutes. Really.
Yeah. So pretty. I mean, I was outside building a bench when they did that detonation at that hotel. Mm-hmm. What was it called? The Hard Rock Hotel.
Oh yeah.
In October, which 10 months later, and it's still fucking sitting there with like dead bodies.
Yeah, dude's legs are still hanging out of it.
So, but anyway, I was outside like on a lovely October morning, mm-hmm. And I heard that, and I thought like, oh yeah, that's just like a couple barges doing their thing, like I grew up just like a block from the river. Used to hear barges and stuff just kind of knocking around all the time, and then I remembered I'm pretty far from the river. That's not a barge hitting that. I'm not hearing that. You usually don't hear that right here in Arabic. Right. Closer to New Orleans, where I grew up. And then I realized, oh shit, that was the thing. They blew up. They blew up that an attempt to demolish it. Of course, it failed. And
it failed.
But I mean, I heard that. I didn't feel it, but I heard that, and that was just a tiny little thing. So I mean, if that fucking something like that would have gone off. Fucking right, we would have felt it.
Now look that up. Look that up and check that out. It is quite impressive,
dude. The video is. I mean, there's several, of course.
Oh yeah.
Several.
They got one that took it from like the other side, like in the ocean, the Mediterranean Sea or whatever.
Yeah.
And hit from that side, and the water that came up.
Jesus. Well,
it had mushroom cloud, everything. It was fucking awesome.
Well, because you're right, because there was a fire already.
Mm-hmm.
So people were already out there like fucking filming.
And that's because that's the video I saw. It's like, okay, things burning, a little fireworks going off, and no!
That's right.
Good Lord!
Yeah, so they're right there on the eastern edge of the Mediterranean Sea. So that's fuck, man. That's got to be that's a major port, I'd say.
Yeah.
Trade between Europe and all of the Middle East, and and fuck into Asia. If you ask me, I'm looking at it. Fuck, that's some fucked up shit, man. You know what? The Syrians aren't going to be happy because they're not going to get their olive oil.
Yeah.
For quite some time. I'm sure they got their own port, but still. Whew, yeah, man, that was... anything that blows up is definitely going to make its way onto this show. Go figure.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially something that massive.
And it was a good one.
It was nice. I wonder what the people in Cyprus felt. Look at that little island right there off Cyprus?
Oh, I'm sure they had to get some type of a storm surge. Like
they had a little...
yeah.
Oh, that's true. Well, that's a fair amount of water right there. I don't know.
Cyprus, isn't that the island of Amazons? The lost island of Amazons.
I'm probably, dude, look, it's all in Greek. Because, dude, I mean, I
They're
can kind
really
of...
tall, muscular lesbians.
So... that
We have no use for men.
kind of bothered me about like Wonder Woman because like they just changed the story around like willy-nilly. Like I don't even know who the fuck she is or is supposed to be.
But I guess I will give it to them. The Wonder Woman, they got the new one, 1985.
Oh, has that not been released yet? Huh?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
But,
I'll check it out though.
The Wonder Woman movie was
The movie
for
was
a DC movie. For a DC superhero movie, it was pretty good.
For a Disney movie, it was pretty good. I don't know.
And they're not really good at making those movies.
No. I mean, actually, I liked Christian Bale's Batman was awesome.
Oh yeah.
The all three movies. Third one was not as hot, but I mean, the first one was good. The second one, of course, with Joker was fucking. I mean, it peaked. That was peak Batman in my mind.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe not peak Batman. That was peak DC movie. Put it to you that way. You know.
What? No Val Kilmer?
Dude, rewatched the Tim Burton's Batman. With Keaton, Michael Keaton.
That was a good movie.
That was a fucking good movie, dude.
Good movie.
And you know what? It holds up pretty well.
Everybody gives Michael Keaton shit, but I like a lot of his movies.
Oh, dude, Michael Keaton is great. I don't give him shit at all, dude. I thought he was awesome. He was really good in Batman, and I had to kind of refresh my memory of Jack Nicholson's Joker, because I mean, what a character. You know what I mean? Like, he's probably one of the most. I'm not trying to get all dorky here and all movie buff nerd, but I mean, he was a pretty complex character. You got to figure, like, what is Joker? He was a mystery,
right.
Depending on who wrote him and blah 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 blah. But I mean, my memory of him was that it was a very campy and didn't really approach the kind of more sinister kind of.
Plus, you got to remember, comic book movies are still really new.
That's true.
Yeah. So. But Heath Ledger's was really good.
Yeah.
It really kind of got into the psychosis of fucking the Joker. But did you see Joker?
Yeah, I saw that.
That was excellent.
A lot of people liked that. Some people didn't like that. I thought it was really good.
Excellent.
I thought it was really good.
Joaquin.
Yeah. Joaquin Phoenix.
That was really good.
Dude,
I enjoyed the fuck out of that.
I liked how it wasn't all. It was just him.
Right.
It was just what was his name? Arthur in the movie, I think. Arthur? Yeah. I thought that was like a really dude. With when he did the thing on the show and
yeah.
Dude. That was that right there. I mean, I don't know how to. I'm not.
And his thing for laughing was that mental disorder,
That's right.
that emotional mental disorder.
Right.
Like
He couldn't.
when-
Like he just laughed inappropriately, or
Yeah, like
just couldn't help
when
it.
people like shoot a dog, he laughs instead of cries.
Right.
It's got
Yeah.
that-
Yeah. It's a crazy idea. Yeah, but the laugh itself.
It's like
you know
some
what
people,
I mean?
it's like some people get nervous, they fart. It was like a nervous reaction. He would laugh.
Yeah. I like it. That was a good. Little twist. A good little dimension.
It really was.
But I mean, as far as like just the actual portrayal of Joker, you got. I mean, I guess the holy, not Trinity, whatever the four, Quadrinity. You got Jack Nicholson, right? You got Mark Hamill for the animated series.
Is that who did that?
Is the Joker? You didn't know that?
Uh-uh.
Fucking right, dude.
He did the voice?
That
Oh, really?
fucking crazy laugh. That's Mark Hamill, dude.
No shit. Okay.
Dude, absolutely. He's great because he just does that fucking high pitched cackle kind of thing. You got Heath Ledger.
Yeah.
And now you got Joaquin Phoenix, in my opinion, and I think they do an excellent Joker. All four of them rather. But I rewatched the Tim Burton, man, and I was afraid that Jack Nicholson's Joker was going to come across as like too clowny, too goofy, and too. Nah, dude, it was sinister in its own right.
Yeah.
I think and looking back, I guess just kind of looking at it with through finer lenses, he did a fucking good job on that movie. You know, Jack Nicholson did a pretty damn good job. Being the Joker, he did come across as nice and crazy, just like we like him.
Yeah.
So, fucking right, kudos to you, man.
Speaking of Val Kilmer,
Yeah.
he just got a tracheotomy.
Did he really?
Yeah.
Is that was in the news?
Mm-hmm.
Cancer or?
Yeah, he had
fuck.
throat cancer.
Yikes.
And apparently he's doing well. He looks well. He's been looking
That's
really
good.
bad for a long
Really?
time.
Okay.
But no, he does the whole I'm Val Kilmer and I have a tracheotomy. And there's a thing on YouTube of him talking.
Is there?
Yeah.
Oh, maybe I'll have to dig up a clip and post that on there. Let me make a note of that.
I mean, I'm glad he's doing well, but it is kind of
57.
sad though.
Yeah. In 57 minutes, dig up clip of tracheotomy. Val Kilmer.
I was diagnosed with throat cancer, which was 0.7%.
Speaking of the 80s, I just rewatched an 80s classic, The Breakfast Club.
Oh yeah.
It is what it is. I don't really have too much to say about that, but I definitely get on these 80s movies kicks every once in a while. Like not too long ago. I mean, it's not really 80s. I think this is the 70s. I looked at Young Frankenstein
It's Frankenstein.
and Airplane.
Oh, Airplane is one of my favorite movies ever.
Dude, that fucking movie.
I guess I picked the wrong day to stop sniffing glue.
What was, dude, fucking the more I hear about like people like with their reviews on it and shit, and the more I go back and I watch it, dude, Leslie Nielsen as that doctor
Yes.
is fucking incredible.
One of my favorite lines of any comedy movie ever is, "Surely you can't be serious." I am serious.
I am serious.
And don't call me Shirley.
And don't call me Shirley. He does it so fucking well. There was a scene when he's talking to
And continued that role. There was a TV show, Police Squad.
wait.
Was it Police Squad?
That was the Naked Gun, the movies,
Right.
was based on Police Squad.
Police
which
Squad.
I think was, I don't know how, that might have been around the same time as Airplane.
Right.
But
And
yeah.
then continued to the Naked, and the Naked Guns were
In the
great,
movies,
too.
right. Nice beaver. And he had that voice too,
Yeah.
that kind of like very commanding, like baritone. Nice beaver. Thanks. I just got it stuffed.
We call this one the Denver jockstrap.
Oh God. What was your boy's name? He comes in with the.
Oh, here, let me take that urine sample from you.
Is this some kind of a bust?
Yes, it's very impressive.
Fucking good times, good times. Yeah, all right. So, yeah, so the 80s. Love them. God bless the 80s. Oh, shit. Well, we're at about an hour now. Oh, please excuse the mess. Ladies and gentlemen, we are experiencing technical difficulties of the most severe kind.
It's whiskey time.
It is whiskey time, yeah.
It's whiskey time in the studio.
So I don't know what the hell is going on environmentally right now, but like my entire head is just going in all kinds of weird directions, dude. I mean, we had this like Saudi fucking Arabian dust, flying in, making me cough up shit. And it seems like there's been a lot of mold or something.
Yeah, I had remembered about that, and that's not a strange occurrence. It happens every year, but this particular is supposed to be really heavy and hanging low. A lot of times it's higher in the atmosphere. But and I was worried about that, especially with the kids, because they have a lot of allergies. But I don't normally have allergies, and I haven't noticed it at all, really.
Dude, I mean, every other couple of days or so, I'll just get like this little burn back here in my throat, and I keep thinking, oh. There we go. I keep thinking to myself, okay, this is it. I've got the COVID. I'm a dead man, and then it goes away like
about that too,
12 hours later.
That's all we need. With this going on and flu season coming up and allergies and shit are going to start kicking in.
Right.
Everybody's going to be freaking out.
Oh, here's a great thing. Dude, hurricane season really hasn't really begun yet either,
Right.
So we got about a good month and a half.
And
peak
to
hurricane
keep the status
season.
quo, of course, every hurricane season since Katrina, is going to be extremely active.
Right. Well, they said that this year.
It's every year.
Right.
We're going to have extremely active hurricane season. So tune into the news constantly.
Well, higher than average is what this year was forecasted.
They said it every year.
Yeah.
So tune in early and often.
Yeah, right.
That's just like how I vote. That's how we vote down here, early and often. Vote as many times as you want, people.
When's the next general election? I think I'm going to vote about five or six times, if applicable.
I'm going to mail it in. I'm going to do it electronically.
They allow that shit, right?
Yeah.
All right. Oops. Hey, cheers, man. 2 huge explosions and, voter fraud.
To Beirut. That was freaking awesome, dude.
Thanks, dude. 10 out of 10. Try to top that. Ooh.
God, that's really lovely.
Yeah, that is. I'm realizing how good that is on ice. The ice,
Oh, yeah.
That brings it out. Ooh.
It's delicious.
Yes. Really keeps the DTs down, let me tell you.
Yeah, we're killing
the right people will get that. Delicious. Oh my God. Well, I don't know what the hell else is going on in this crazy fucking world of ours. I certainly didn't keep a whole lot of news stories, but
no.
Let's just talk about Slayer, because I was listening to them earlier today, and fucking Slayer.
Yeah.
What an era. What a goddamn mark on history those guys were. You know what's funny? I was actually listening to a number of songs. I was listening to Chemical Warfare, Black Magic, Aggressive Perfector, South of Heaven, I was
I am the Antichrist.
No, I didn't listen to that one, but I was paying really close attention to the guitar work that was going on there. And, I mean, if you want to be snobby about it, they were, I guess by certain standards, a little sloppy in the way that it just kind of came out. Maybe probably more so in the earlier stuff. Like sloppy, but not sloppy. That's a weird thing about them, because the timing was right, but there was something about the way that you have to really listen close to hear like what's being palm muted, what's being not palm muted, what's a chord, what's not a chord, because it just kind of when you're playing that fast, it just kind of like muddles together a little bit.
Yeah, I think,
I mean?
like okay, Antichrist. They do a lot of they kind of jump around and they kind of slide into stuff, kind of very quickly.
Yeah. Okay, so one example was Temptation off of Season of the Abyss.
Yeah.
There's I don't know. I mean, might be just a completely personal thing, but there was like some subtlety in the picking that today when I was listening to it, I just I picked up on some of the rhythms that I just never really picked up on before. A lot of it was like underneath the soloing, so that's probably why I wasn't really paying that much attention to the rhythm that was going on underneath.
Right.
But it was actually pretty interesting. Like they changed up the rhythm a little bit in certain places. Like I said, just underneath some of the soloing towards the end of the song, that kind of kept it interesting.
Yeah.
And that's the cool thing that I like about maybe not so much Slayer in particular. They happen to be an example of it. But I like going back and picking up on those little things.
The thing they do that I like that is kind of cool that they do quite often is they'll change key in the middle of a solo.
Yeah.
I love that. That just tosses my salad.
Does it now?
Yeah.
Well, that's
it crunches my pickle.
Whew. So,
it seasons my taco.
Give it a nice little Tex-Mex Southwest blend of, yeah. Yeah, I'm just thinking right now of yeah. Okay, everybody's probably watching me just kind of nod my head and like smile like a madman, but like I'm seriously like running through Slayer riffs in my head as I'm thinking this through. I'm like, okay, yeah, man. Right on, dude. So that's what's going on right now. I'm not completely losing my mind. That happens later off camera, but
this awkward silence has been brought to you by whiskey.
Yes, and Slayer, and I'm so proud of those fucking things too.
Yeah.
I mean, I think I pretty deliberately listened to it just simply because it's been a few weeks since I've listened to Slayer, so every now and then you just gotta kind of bring it back. And Slayer was probably, I don't know, probably my first.
Well, that Slayer was the band I wanted to be in when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Like I wanted to be in Slayer. It was just the coolest shit.
Okay, so I went to a Catholic high school, right?
Yeah.
You went to Hannah.
As I for a wee bit.
For like a day or whatever it was.
Week maybe. If you get the fuck out of here. All right, I'll leave.
See ya, John. I remember I ran into this dude and was like, "Oh, what kind of music are you into?" And he was like one of those evangelist kind of dudes. And I'm like, oh, I'm into heavy metal. He's like, oh, what are you into? I'm like, oh, it's like heavy metal, dude. He's like, oh, so you're like into like Metallica and stuff? I'm like, yeah. Oh, that's cool, man. It's good. The Metallica's fine as long as you didn't get into like the real dark evil stuff like Slayer. And like, yeah, dude. As long as I don't get into them, Slayer was probably like the first band that I listened to. That would have annoyed and deeply spiritually offended guys like him. You know what I mean? I don't know how else to put it right now. I mean, it was like, okay, you can be into like, Twisted Sister and Megadeth. And I'm not knocking Twisted Sister or Megadeth. I love Twisted Sister. I still listen to Twisted Sister. Well, but I mean, or whatever, or like Heathen or Overkill and stuff like that. But Slayer kind of brought this evil. This next level evil. You know what I mean? Because I mean, in the 80s and the 90s, like, depending on who you were, there was certain levels of music that was kind of extreme at the time but was still acceptable, and there's always a band that's just over that line. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Yeah. And we could spend the whole episode talking about this. In fact, why don't we do this sometime soon? Maybe next episode. Let's talk about that pushing of the line from one level of extremity to the next.
All right.
Okay, so we're talking
next episode. Evil,
as in the fruits of the devil.
Fruits of the devil, and we're talking about evil. To him, the next level was, I mean, at that point, I was already listening to Slayer, and I was like, well, I guess I shouldn't tell him about Deicide then. I'll just go ahead and Morbid Angel, because I was listening to it at the time, and I'll just go ahead and shut up and just get him off my ass. I don't want to, you know what I mean? But there's probably some guy who's like, oh, yeah, well, fucking, Morbid Angel and Deicide, they're fine. They're cool. Slayer, old hat, dude. But don't you get into that Norwegian black metal, because they're true satanic shit, and they'll really bring you down into the dark. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then like what happens now? What happens now? Now you got people who are doing like black metal fusion shit, and they're saying like, oh, fucking that stuff, that's old hat too. They influence this kind of stuff. Yeah. But don't you dare get into like fucking whatever is next, and I don't even know what's next, because Satanism is fucking dead. No one's really getting into that shit anymore.
Yeah, and that was the thing. I mean, I'm trying to think about it too, and I guess Slayer was like one of the first ones for me too, but. Cannibal Corpse and stuff, but they weren't necessarily satanic.
Well, it's not satanic, but I mean, they had the fucking
it was certainly extreme. But and it's just it still is to me. It's just so subculture, and even today, it's like, oh yeah, you listen to that fucking metal stuff. Oh yeah, like Metallica. I'm like, no.
Oh,
and I don't even want to get into it. So I'm like,
right.
The Slipknot for me, buddy.
Yeah, bro. Korn.
Right here.
Yeah.
Korn guy.
Yep.
Can we just stop talking about this? I don't want to talk about it with you.
Yeah. Exactly. No, I hear you. So you into like fucking heavy shit, dude? Like fucking Korn and like fucking
Disturbed, dude.
Yeah, Disturbed, bro.
I want to punch you in the face. With a 5-finger death punch,
dude. If you know what I think I stopped reading my metal news stories.
Yeah.
Once I realized that was too many goddamn whatever it was, five finger death punch. I don't even know what that is, dude. I just know that I don't like it and that it's not good.
Yeah.
What's the name of that band? I'm going to tell you right now. Dude, that Mudvayne.
Oh, yeah.
Mudvayne. Around the time that band was doing its thing, dude, was around the time when I was starting to question where metal was going, you know? Because you had your new metal thing, and you
I do remember that time period.
Yeah, we had that pop metal thing going on.
Because everybody kind of knew about Mudvayne.
Yeah.
Not that it was necessarily your cup of tea or not, but the bass player was really awesome.
Dude, yeah, he was. After we finish recording, I'm going to play this one song, and I'm just going to say, just listen to the bass right quick. You know, I mean, you probably heard it before, but I mean, like Mudvayne is like a one band that, at least that I've discovered, that kind of stands out. I mean, I like them.
Yeah.
They're good musicians. Do I jam to every song? Nah, I don't. Do I admire them at least? Yeah, sure. You know, they fucking pull it off, dude. There's plenty of other bands that like were trying to do similar things, or their contemporaries that just fucking didn't. You know what I mean? Didn't get my admiration, didn't get my appreciation for their musicianship. You know, because they fucking sucked, or they just didn't fucking. A wise man once said they didn't spice their shit. How did you put it earlier?
Oh, my taco?
Spice your taco, yes.
Season my taco?
Season your taco, yeah. Anyway, it just was my thing, you know.
And like another wise man once said, like a midget at a urinal, you'll have to stay on your toes.
Wise man did say that once, yes.
That's a Naked Gun reference.
Oh my god.
So I mean, and going back to the whole evil thing.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't have to be extremely extreme to be evil either.
Right.
The Oath. I really like The Oath. I like the doom type music with really good female vocals.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like Windhand.
Mm-hmm.
The Oath is a lot more retro, a lot more Black Sabbath-y.
Mm-hmm.
But the vocals are really good, and they're extremely satanic. And that kind of like, you know, frosts my cake there a little bit.
Right on.
You know?
Yeah.
It kind of icens my cupcakes.
There you go.
Because it's so satanic, it's like, oh, it's so evil. It's like...
Dude, there's something about the fall and the winter that kind of opens doors for like a lot of like dark metal music, you know, or just dark music in general, you know? Like, when I think of the fall and I know that the weather is coming, the cold weather is coming, there are certain bands like Obituary comes to mind.
Mm-hmm.
Danzig, for whatever reason, comes to mind.
Sure.
Like I feel like the chill is in
Dirty
the air.
Black Summer.
And it just didn't even have to do with that song, you know. But I just feel like there's a chill.
Dirty Black Summertime. Yeah.
Sepultura is kind of a summer band.
Amorphous.
Amorphous, absolutely. And when it gets cold, now we're talking like Dark Throne.
Yeah.
Now we're talking about Dark Funeral. Now we're talking about, like, you know, the cold, bitter, evil.
Yeah.
The stuff that makes your eyes roll back in your head and make your hands go like this. Yes, exactly. So
I love the sound of that album.
Panzerfaust?
Oh, dude.
Dude, all the Dark Throne shit sounds really good.
It sends chills up and down your spine when you hear it. It's like, oh, God.
There's something, you know what? It's funny when they got that really wet reverb saturated guitars with a really dry vocal.
Yeah.
Like it sounds like the guitars are just, they're all over the place, and he's up there going, you know, it's in your face, and it's really loud. I'm like, what the fuck is going on, dude?
It's magnificent.
It kind of doesn't mix well, but it fucks with you. But I know it's disturbing.
Yeah.
In my mind, it is disturbing, and I get it. Thank you, Fenriz. I see what you were doing there, and it makes sense. That dude's a jackass, but he knows what he's doing when it comes to Dark Throne. You listen to that new shit, huh?
Yeah.
With
Old Star.
Yeah, something like that.
Something Old Star.
Dude, shit's good.
It really is good.
Shit's good.
Doesn't quite have the feel of the older Dark Throne stuff, which is a little disappointed about it. but it's good nonetheless.
No, but
I do like it.
They still keep doing it. You
Yeah,
know? They
they
still
do.
keep
They do.
coming
They
up
really
with
do.
really cool ideas and.
I actually kind of perused that the other day. Actually,
Right on. Yeah.
Popped up on my playlist.
Outstanding.
Yeah.
All right. So I suggest we call it an episode soon.
Yeah, and we're gonna get into Satan worshiping.
Yeah, let's do the evil shit.
Yeah, next episode, Satan worshiping.
Satan worshiping.
Yeah.
Heaton.
So,
Yeah.
folks, there's nothing because things said backwards are very satanic.
That's right. Wasn't that the stupidest trope ever, dude? It's like, oh, play it backwards.
It's satanic.
That'll bring him to the dark side. Thanks, everybody, for joining us. Just a fucking ship of it. Thanks, everybody, for joining us. Just a fucking ship of it. Praise the Dark Lord. He can talk backwards. Oh.
That is the language.
Dude,
of
my
Satan.
favorite thing was like with what fucking Rob Halford said during those fucking hearings, the PMRC hearings.
Oh yeah.
He just flat out was like, dude, if honestly, if we put subliminal messages into our music, we wouldn't tell people to kill themselves. We would tell them to buy more fucking music, buy more albums.
Buy more albums.
I mean, who the fuck do you think we are? Seriously. I mean, it just doesn't make sense. But I mean, you know, there's a lot of stuff going on in the mindset of the 70s and the 80s. You know, Dungeons and Dragons will make you a fucking suicidal death cult worshiper. Fucking heavy metal will make you a suicidal death cult worshiper.
Come to find out, after further research, after further pointless study, Dungeons and Dragons just makes you a pussy.
Yeah, well, hey, look, you know what? Call me a pussy. Because Dungeons and Dragons was a game that I played.
And how much pussy did you get at the time?
I think my awkward silence speaks for itself.
0.
I don't know, dude. I was playing a lot of D&D
It's
for
not
a
going
long
to attract
time.
the ladies, okay?
Yes, there's a... hey, you know what? Those are my dark times.
There you go. Oh, it's true. It is satanic.
All right, y'all.
That's enough fun for one night.
Yeah, we're going to go get fish naked.
Yeah, take care of yourselves.
Yes.
Goodbye, my mental friends.
Yeah, and we'll see you soon in the dark days of the summer or something like that.
Yeah.
Have fun, y'all.